right on your ball with your legs a comfortable width apart and your hands either side of the ball. This is like your most stable position. If you want more stability, you have either the ball wedged to something behind you, or you might have your hands touching something at the side, or both those things. So now every time we move our feet is going to be a little bit less stable. So let's just start taking a heel up and down. I'm just going to change the camera a little bit just so you can see my feet slightly better. Oh, my ball starts to roll away.
It's okay. I'm not open.
So just giving your feet a little bit of movement, and you can feel how far apart your legs are, and there's no perfect, you're just comfortable. And you want to feel that you're stable, and just as you change that a little bit with your feet, that it's all right. You don't feel that you're suddenly going somewhere that you don't want to go.
It's okay.
And then plant both feet down, and we're going to grow a little taller. So you might think about this part of your chest, you might think about the back of your head, just like I do in just about every class. I think pressing this bit, tapping the back of your head, just so you can feel, okay, that imaginary wall behind you. You can keep the hands on the side of your ball if you want to, it will keep it more stable. We're going to go into pelvic tilts, so you can also put your hands on your hip bones, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, keep the ball still and send your hip bones back. It's going to feel like your bum is going back a little bit on the ball, and then it's going to roll forwards. It's going to roll back. So you're using the squidginess of your bum and the squidginess of the ball. It's the perfect marriage.
Lots of squidge.
Lots and lots of squidge. That's it. And trying to keep this part upright. So your shoulders stay where they are, but your belly, you can see my t-shirt just starts to crease as I do it. And then it sort of uncreases. So I'm just putting my hands here just so they're not touching anything else. Don't mind where you put your hands. Keep them on the ball. And then come back to just normal sitting on the ball. Keep your legs as they are. We're going to do a little sneaky hip going up towards your armpit one way and back. The ball is going to move with you. So I quite like my hands on my hips because I can feel my hip coming upwards. But you could have your hand on the ball, or you could just rest your hands down your leg. We're just going for one side 3 or 4 times. This is a nice thing about the ball's just going with you. And then the other way. Now, one thing to watch, if you know you tend to send your chest forwards and sort of arch a little bit, just watch those ribs coming forwards here. A nice thing to do, if you know that happens, is to stick a thumb on your bottom of your ribs and your little fingers somewhere around the hip bones, and just keep them the same distance apart so they don't get any wider. As soon as they go like that, oh, I can feel they're sort of spreading further apart. So that's just a little check as you try and shift that ball out the other way. And then let's have a little side to side. Make it a little slinky. That's it. Very nice. See, lots of movement there. Really good. And then we're going to take it round in a circle, but I don't want you to push through your feet at the moment. So don't really push like that and get the ball going. That's getting different bits. We're getting it more from our pelvis and our bum. So you're not going to get as much movement. You're going to get a little bit. And we can let the upper body go up and down a little bit now. And then push it the other way. That's it. Hands could be down here or here. If you want to get really fancy, you could air your armpits and stick them up there. But it's definitely a bit harder. So you've gone both ways. And then rest down. Give the back of your head that tap again. Take it back a little. Just turn your head either side. Take your time if you need to. Come back to the center. Neck roll. Just go to one of your go-tos. Just check that your legs are fairly relaxed as you're doing this. You're not gripping anywhere or getting sort of jumpy in the thighs. Back to the centre, give the shoulders a roll. Let the arms hang if they want to. You could even add weights if that's your thing. And a little bit forwards as well as back. That's it. And we could bring in a shrug, breathing in, bring the shoulders up. Breathing out, melt them down. You might feel your fingers going down the ball. Breathing in, sliding up. Breathing out, sliding down. Last one, coming up and down. And now your feet, still where they are, probably a bit wider, probably going outwards a little bit. Lift your toes up and down, one foot and then the other. Just makes you a little bit unstable each time. Now try bringing your feet a little closer, so just bring them in a bit. See how that feels. Feels different for me because they're now facing forwards and then we're going out to the sides. And you might go a little closer and just see how that feels. I feel like I have to really concentrate on sitting up now. It's all got a bit wobbly. So I feel tension creeping in here for me. I'm going to go a bit wider. Decide what felt right for you. You don't want that point where you're thinking, ah. You want to feel, okay, I'm in control, but it's a bit hard. When you've found that foot width, we're going to start to try and lift a foot off the floor apart from your toes or your big toe. One and then the other. Surprisingly hard, I will say. And I like the hands on the ball because it just gives me a bit of stability. But you could have hands on something if you've got things next to you. And then choose the side and just peel up that foot as far as you can. You might not get it off the floor, or you might be able to lift it. And then take it down. Everything goes a little bit wonky, so settle. Take a breath. And then let the other one peel the heel. Yeah, I see we're all leaning over a little bit. Or can you bring that foot off the floor? Don't worry if you can't. Toe into your toe is fine. It's so hard. And then just going from foot to foot. Now Hazel's giving a nice little bit of extra. Giving a leg a little bit of feedback and a little bit of assistance. But quite difficult on the weight shift because there's a bit of turn in the body. But you can do that as well. And last one, and just rest a moment. And then take your hands to your thighs and slide forwards and backwards and let your waist turn. That's it. And then rest your hands. And now do the same just with the legs. So the legs push, one knee is coming towards you, this knee is going back, and then the other knee pushes towards the camera and the other one comes back. Your bum sort of squiggles like that from side to side on it. You can do it a little bit. You can do it quite a lot. See what's right for you. It might be something that you think, oh, actually, it makes me a bit uncomfortable somewhere. I only need a little bit. Or you might be really like pistons going backwards and forwards. And then come back to the centre. Now we're going to do a little, you know, we do a shuffle on the chair and we sort of shuffle forwards and backwards. We're going to do that sort of thing, but on the ball. Little footsteps, hands on the side of the ball. Little footsteps forwards. You only need one or two. And then little footsteps backwards. And just find your range. I haven't got far to go either. And just get your rhythm of going forwards and backwards. It's quite hard work. And you might want your legs wider or closer. I find the closer they get, the harder this area has to work. Brilliant. See, the sound effects are just an added benefit. And then go forwards a little bit, just hold it. So you're just not quite sitting on the centre, you're a little bit forwards. Put your arms forwards. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just pull back a little. So you're C-curving. So if I show you on the side, just pulling your belly back, so you don't have to lean back. Just pull your belly back a little and then pull it forwards. Pull it back and then coming up. Pull it back. Could have a little lean back and see what it's like. Feel safe though. So you're going to a point that's okay for you. Very nice, by the way. And then come up. Shuffle back. So you're back in your starting position. Your legs feel a bit closer. Let's do that again. Really, really nice. So coming forwards a little bit so you're not on the centre. Arms ahead, somewhere they can be low or high, don't mind. You can interlock the fingers or push away, whichever works for you. Take a breath in. Breathing out, pull your belly back. Your back's going into the ball a little bit. Have a little tip back. See how far you want to go. Doesn't need to be very far. Your feet feel nice and firm on the floor. Come upright. Push yourself back. Little wiggle. Next one's slightly different. We're going to go forwards and just slide a foot forwards. A little lean back. This one's more straight, like a hinge. And then slide the foot back and you're coming upright. Come right back. Shuffle forwards. Slide the foot forward first. Hinging back. It could be just like that. You might go a little further. That's it. See if you can give your shoulders a wriggle. Let them relax. That's it. Very nice. And then pull the leg back. Bring yourself up. Right. Have a little wiggle on the ball if you like. Little circle to ease up. Brilliant. I'm just going to take myself back to the front. Right. Into the arms a little bit. Take your arms into that L shape. You can give yourself a little reminder under the armpits. Mine are feeling quite warm. So give it a little scratch. You might be lucky enough to have a vest on and actually be on the flesh. That's excellent, right? A little rub there. So we want a little bit of sensation because that's where we're going to squeeze into. Might be imagining the little oranges under your armpits. Right. Growing tall, so you feel yourself almost light sitting on the ball. So we're not sitting down really heavy. We're sort of almost feeling like we're a little bit lighter. Breath in, breathe out, pull backs of your arms back a little, and then let them bounce forwards. Pulling back as you breathe out, and forwards as they breathe in. Just a couple of times. And then rest, have a little wiggle. Right, on this next one, slightly different. We're going to go for the sort of bow and arrow. So you could either keep your hand resting or you can have both arms ahead. We're going to stick to one side. So it's going to look like that. Different options for the feet. If you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, I want the opposite foot to slide forward. So it's going to look like that. Whoa, it's quite wobbly. You might even want your ball right against something. That makes it a bit easier. If you haven't got osteoporosis or osteopenia, we're going to have the same side leg and get a little bit more waist turn. So choose what works for you. The arms, you've got one arm pushing ahead and the other one, that elbow's nudging someone behind you. If you feel too unstable, leave the legs out of it. One or two more. You all right, Susie?
Yeah, I was just taking my socks off.
Okay. And then come back to the middle and just a little wiggle, something that feels okay. And we're going to go for the other side. So if you've got osteoporosis, the opposite leg's going to slide forward to the elbow going back. And if you haven't, and we're getting more waist turn, it's the same side leg. Okay? So arms forward or one arm forwards, slide it back and let your head just turn as your body turns. And this foot's always in contact with the floor. That's it. 1 or 2 more. And then come back to the centre and think, what do you need? I'm going for the little wriggles side to side. Right, I'm going to give you a range of options now. Either starting to try and lift one foot and then the other, so you could be coming to your toe or the heels up. You're going 1, 2, 1, 2. See how wide my legs are, quite wide. You can go smaller. There's an advantage of having the legs closer because they're sort of closer to squeezing against each other, but it's quite narrow. You can try that too. If you're not going to bounce, that's your option. If you're going to bounce, take your legs wider, hands forwards a little bit on the ball, and we're just going to put the weight to the feet and then sit down again. Weight to the feet. This always looks hilarious. But the weight's going into the feet. You can adjust your foot position. You might even bring yourself so far up that you need to touch the ball with your hands to check when you sit down again, you're going to sit on the ball. That's it. Otherwise, you're lifting these feet up 1 foot, 1 foot. Might lift them a bit higher, might take them out and in. This is your non-bounce version. Holding the ball definitely helps. If you want more challenge, or bringing the arms up somewhere like here. Oh, that's hard. So making your choice. Oh, I'm seeing all the combinations. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, I think that's enough though. I didn't put in the clap, but you can put in a bounce clap. So just for the recording, if you come back to this, you can do that, or you can do your legs. And if you're doing your out and in, you could bring your claps in like that if you want them, just for a bit of variety. Right, rest your legs. We're going to have the arms going up. So turn your palms just outwards a little, like you're just about to scoop something. Float your arms up nice and soft, and then float them down. That's it. A few of those. Just check in with your ribs in case you feel like they're pushing forwards. Want to feel nice and stacked. Breathe whenever you fancy it. That's it. Next one's going to be different. Just one arm. I'm sliding a leg forwards. And then I'm sliding the other one forwards. And I'm trying not to let the ball move. Now, if you feel that you want the leg to go almost in the air, oh, you can, but it's really quite tricky. It's quite a jump from the floor to lifting the leg up. That's it. Take your time, and it's fine to slide on the floor. That's it. Keep growing tall. It definitely helps, and touching the ball definitely helps as well. It sort of gives a stability of sorts. And last one. And then rest. You might take yourself to that rest position. You can't really flop on the ball in this position just yet, but we will get to a flop.
Good boy.
And then bring yourself up. Bring your legs forwards. I'm a bit bigger than 2 fist gap. You want to be a comfortable distance. Your legs aren't going to move. Hand on one leg, we're going to move this arm. So you can either arc it like this and let your waist turn. You might want to do a full circle and look back that way. There's that option too. So it can be arm down, just getting a bit more turn at the waist. And we're not pushing it. We're not like really wringing ourselves out. But keep your hand on this leg and keep that still. Last one. Have a little wriggle. And then the other leg, so hand on the leg, this one still, you can even press it down more if you want, and you can arc downwards and let your head just gently follow. You can arc upwards. I'm sort of going out to the side a little bit. I don't want to go straight upwards, but you can do if you want to, just where it's feeling nice for your range of motion in your shoulder. Oh, dear. That's it. And come back to the centre. And then we're going to go for a little side bend. So let's have a salute, touching your head. Doesn't need to be very hard, can also be here. And we're going to bring the arm out to the side. So it's like a sort of teapot. Keep your feet pressing on the ground and keep the ball still. That's it, lovely. And it's like you're going, I'm just trying to reach over there. Oh, yeah. And then bring it back. Give your shoulders a little wriggle. Other side, hand here or here, just somewhere where you can feel something. And then we're going to reach out this side. That's it. And that arm's going like horizontal. Lovely. Last one, little wriggle. Now the next place we're going to is that position where we're going to lie back on the ball. So I'll show you where we're going and then I'll show you the different ways we're going into it. You're going to end up either with your head in the air floating here and it needs support, so it either needs your hands under here, or you're going to go further so that your head is supported by the ball and your legs are further forwards. So just check your space around you. Sorry. And your dog isn't getting super excited. I'm just going to mute you a moment, Kimberly.
Sorry.
That's all right. So with this, you just take your feet slowly forwards, and you can always shift your bum a little bit. I sort of go forwards and backwards so I can fit myself in. That's it. Just walking your feet slowly forwards. And you have a little wriggle and adjust along the way. If you've got long hair, by the way, just watch it doesn't get stuck between yourself and the ball. Talk from experience there. And now check in with your neck and what feels comfortable. So it might be you can cradle your head, or you might think, no, that's not happening at all. Or it might be you're going to let the ball support you. Now it is quite a lot of work for the legs. Anytime you want to come down, because I've got a few little moves here, which I've stupidly put on the other side of my plan that I'm going to have a little look at in a minute. But for the moment, I just want you to take your feet just forwards and backwards a little bit. And just check that your head feels okay. That's it. Keep going whilst I just turn my plan over. That's it. And then come to a still position. Your legs are probably wider than when you're sitting on the ball. And just bring your hips up a little bit. Your head supported by either your hands or the ball. And I've got my legs really quite wide, I would say. Wide, not as wide as my mat, but almost. Just to feel well supported. We're going to bring one arm forwards and it's going to reach towards the opposite leg and you're going to turn at your ribs and then take it back. So it's a little crossing over reach. Now I'm just sort of rolling my head over on my hand, or it could be rolling on the ball and you could have your hands on your chest. So it was a little bit of oblique work and you keep going for the same side. That's it. And then have a break. Either let your head be supported by the ball, you can always come further forwards. You're right, Hazel.
Yeah, just needed a break.
Either let your head be supported by the ball or by your hands, or come up to sitting. And then we're going to go for the other side. So adjust if needed. You might be cradling your head on one side. This other arm is going to just reach across. And it's just touching, bit of leg, just hovering over it. You might feel a finger. That's it. Last one. And then rest for a moment. The next place we're going is down to the floor. So you might take it all the way down that way. Watch the bottom bit because the ball might ping away. You might be slipping down at the sides. We're going to take ourselves down to the floor and lie down with our legs on the ball. So if you need to adjust yourself now, or adjust your camera, or get a cushion for your head, or any of that stuff, the next moves are all going to be lying down. We're going to end sitting on the floor. Just change the camera here a little bit. You want to hug the ball in close to your legs. So the backs of your thighs are right on it and you're in that sort of 90-degree-ish position. It's all going to be slightly different because the ball's going to put your legs at different heights. That's it. Arms down on the floor. And just as we get on the floor in, you know, in a light class or whatever, just give yourself a few little wriggles. You might have your legs just swaying from one side to the other, or letting your head turn, or sorting your shoulders out, all those key areas. And then bring the ball in as close as you can. You're really hugging it in. Dig your heels in a little bit so your toes are coming a bit towards you. Lovely. Right, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, dig those heels in, and we're going to start a pelvic tilt. So you're just going to lift your bum up a little bit. You might feel your t-shirt or your waistband dropping down to the floor a little, and then let your bum settle down again. Arms definitely on the floor, and you can have your arms a bit wider. That can help support you. You can even go onto the edges of your arms and your little finger to give yourself a little bit of extra traction. Breathe in. Dig your heels and press down into the ball, and now start your pelvic tilt. And then let it go back down again. One more breath in. Breathing out, pelvic tilt. Take it down. Arms upwards. You can either push away like a stop sign or bring your palms together. Really feel them connect. So you're either doing that stop, feel your back pushing into the floor, dig your heels in, tilt upwards again. Your back is pressing down more than it was before. And then let that bum come down, your pelvis down, let your arms have a rest. You can wiggle the feet here, it's a nice place for a wiggle. I can see them all wiggling. Arms up again, either pushing away or palms together. Feel a bit of connection in your back. Now dig your heels in, your toes are coming towards you. Lift your pelvis up, you might go a little bit higher. Beautiful. Take it down. Take the arms down. Let the feet relax and flop and have a little wiggle and a wave. One more like that. So pushing the stop sign or hands together. Breath in. Breathe out. Dig your heels in, toes towards you. Bring your bum up maybe a little higher this time. Legs are still bent. That's it. And then roll it down. Let your arms go down. Put the soles of your feet on the ball so your knees are coming in towards your chest. And just roll the ball forwards and back. You can have your legs wide. They can really bow out to the sides like butterfly if that feels nice. Or just forwards and backwards, just something nice and soft. And then next time this ball comes close to you, just hold it there and take one foot just off the ball and let the other foot roll the ball away. Might have to adjust the foot a little bit, and then get that leg that's not on the ball to tabletop, so it's at 90 degrees. And then with the other foot, just push the ball away from you as far as you can. You might have only so far you can go in the space that you're in. That's it, and this other leg's just at 90. And then bring the ball in, just hold it there. So you've got both legs at 90, one of the feet's on the ball. Roll the ball away and let the other leg just go outwards at the knee. Side of the leg follows. And then as you roll the ball back, bring it back in so that your shin and your knee is parallel to the ceiling. Breathing out, open it up and push the ball away. Gorgeous. Breathing in, bring it back. One more. Breathing out, push it away. Open up. Breathing in, bring it back. Bring it really, really close. Just hug it in for a moment. Just let your legs flop. And just have a rest before we do the other half. And now the other foot's going on the ball. And it's going to start to push away, and then your other leg is going to just hang and hover there at 90. And just push that ball forwards and backwards as far as it will go in the space that you've got, and the other leg stays at 90. You can always touch it with your hand if that helps. That's it. Beautiful. Next time you come inwards, just hover there for a moment. Right, on this one, as we push out, the leg's going to go out to the side as you push the ball away. As the ball comes back in, the leg comes in. Out to the side, and then in. And you're trying not to wobble over. So it's only so far you can go out to the side. 2 more. And then bring that ball in. And we're going to grab the ball with a hand and just roll onto our sides. And bring yourself upright to seated. And I'd like you to find somewhere you can put your ball so that you can lean against it. I'm hoping you've all got somewhere you can just put it back behind you. Get your bum comfy, legs any way you like. And then just have a little massage, a little lean back. Hands might go out to the side, might go behind your head, just somewhere nice. And just have a little wriggle against it. You might even go a little bit lower if that feels nice. Oh, that's nice for the head. So if you feel like, just bring your bum, shuffle it a little further down, as long as that feels good for your back. And just enjoy having that support behind you. Might even close your eyes. I'm going to ignore the fact that my leggings are coming further up my legs. Just me. And then wriggle yourself back up to upright. It's a bit of a bum shuffle backwards. Push your arms forwards. You can interlink your hands or just push them away. Push them forwards. Pull your back into the ball and squash it. Your head will bow a little. And then relax. Same again, breath in. Breath out, push your hands away, bring your toes towards you, push back into the ball. You might even have your heels lifting off the floor. And then drop down, little wriggle. Last one. Breath in. Push the hands forwards. Let your head bow over, push your shoulders into the ball and bring your toes towards you so your heels are pushing away. And then let everything flop down. Palms by your sides, turn your hands outwards. Scoop up the air, your arms can go high or low, just somewhere where your hands come together. And bring them into your chest. Give yourselves a